أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين، روح وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today, inshallah, we will start with Surah Al-Shams. Surah Al-Shams is so much connected, inshallah, to this munasabah, to this occasion. With the surah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها. This surah has mainly three parts. In these three parts, the pivot, the center is how can we reach to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The whole concentration is how can we get this guidance from the surah to reach. It starts with pondering around, well, usually Allah advises us to ponder around everything around us and then reflect this in ourselves. And then it comes to a practical example to show us what happens if we don't follow this. So let's start with the first part. With the first part, it flies from the universe and then comes down to us. It's important to understand what's the qasam in Quran. Qasam is swear by, and I've been told to say oath because swear can have bad connotation. But we are talking swearing by, so al-qasam, because it's a bit different than oath. When I want to do qasam, I say wallah. Usually we use that. Why? Because I want to convince you with something. But what about Allah? When He wants to convince us with something, He wouldn't swear by Himself. So He usually uses something that both of us will find it relevant and important. So He used it with His eloquence, with His wisdom. He used this to give us a very nice message. So there are usually two things with the qasam. One is what are we swearing by, and the second is what are we swearing for. And very important to continue with this because that's what all Surah Al-Shams about to start with. It's very important to find what hints Allah wants us to look at in the swear by. What is He swearing by and why did He use this? And there's always a connection between these two. So Surah Al-Shams in particular, and it's the only surah where Allah swears 11 times. So in 8 verses, He swears by 11 times. So He gives an oath with 11 things to give us this important message. And one of the ulama said, wallah, we are shy, it's aib alayna that Allah swears so much for us to be convinced. But inshallah we will convince with what He wants to give us. So we will take this on 3 levels. The first level is the general level, is the level of afaq, is the level of everything around us. We try to understand everything around us, started from the galaxies to the animal kingdom, and then even we go to the microscopical thing. There are lessons in all these things that can be applicable in our life. And then we go to us, to the person. Once we reflect, we can apply everything on ourselves, and this will take us, inshallah, up to the 3rd level. Let's start with the surah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا. You can see when I swear, I say wallah. So whenever there is waw, there is something to swear by. So in this one verse, there are 2 things. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا. So the first thing is sun. Why Allah started with sun? Look at, this star, let's say, The beauty of the sun, and why probably Allah wants to use it here, it burns itself to give life to others. You can see if we go to the chemistry of the sun, there are two hydrogens that usually bombard themselves, combine and produce lots of energy to bring helium. The sun keeps on doing this until it changed to nothing. So it's a continuous give. A big lesson to us, a continuous give. We don't stop. The sun will never stop. It keeps on giving us life. Without the sun, we are not alive. But it burns itself to give us life. And this continuous enlightenment comes to وَالشَّمْسُ وَضُحَاهَا. Why did he separate? Because it's one thing that you believe that there is something burning itself for you. But the other thing is to know that the light is the after effect. So when I burn something, there's something come to me. Allah has given us an idea. This is al-duha, is very important. So what is al-duha in Arabic, or even the understanding in English? It's the early full light. So once you finish the fajr, when it's not scorching, when it's smooth, full light, this is the duha. So it's a beauty, it's beneficial, it's always there for us. وَالشَّمْسُ وَضُحَاهَا, two things to swear by. وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا, when the night comes, when the light doesn't come, Allah doesn't leave us alone. He gives us the mirror which reflects. The light keeps on coming even with the darkness of the light, of the night. There is something still keep us alive. Continue the movement, the message, the guidance. But is it talaha by time, or is it talaha by status, or both? So is it like the qamar always comes after the sun, or actually its position usually lower than sun? Both of them can be applicable. Inshallah, we'll apply it in our life, in our understanding. وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا جَلَّهَا. Now the day came in. Now what's the difference between duha and nahar? It's very strange, because the first thing, ash-shams wa duhaha, the first light comes, and then a nahar, but the nahar has different function. إِذَا جَلَّهَا. Jallaha at-tajliya means when you bring something to full manifestation. To make it easy, we have this lamp. This lamp is fully functional. It's enlightening everything around it. But if it's covered, you don't see it. The only time for this lamp to come and manifest itself is when you remove the cover, and this is jallaha. So when nahar ida jalla shams, very strange meaning, because the shams is the one which gives light. How can the nahar can give light? Because that would give you an understanding that probably it's not talking about the shams itself, but about the receiver. When nahari ida jallaha, for the receiver start to see it very well. I mean, this is one understanding. Other ulama say it probably is not talking about the shams, it's about earth. Although the Quran doesn't mention earth at all, but this is one of the opinion. Also, it's very nice because when the night comes, it covers earth, and the only time earth is obvious for us is when we try to see it, when we can see it, when the light goes. So the nahar do tajliya for the earth. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا. Now night comes again. When the full light's there, the sun trying to give you all your life, but the night comes and it goes. إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا. There's a very important thing here in Quran. All the af'al before, all the verbs, all to do things before, it's in the past tense. وَالشَّمْسُ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا, past tense. Well, when he comes to the layl, he uses present, and present in Arabic is also continuous, like the ing in English. So there is a continuous cover. Very important hint for us. Everything, it happens and goes, but the darkness keep on coming. And we need to remember that. Darkness is a problem here, keeps on coming. So all this revolve around the sun. The sun which gives light, which keep us alive. Its relation with itself, burning itself, giving things out. When it disappears, there is something to reflect its light. and it's continuously helping, and then how is it reflected in us, and how the night start or the darkness try to cover it. Once he reached there, he now goes to وَالسَّمَاءِ وَمَا بَنَاهَا وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا طَحَاهَا. So sky and what ma. I put ma between the brackets because ma can be what or who. Because when we talk about as-sama, the sky, and who built it, is it who or what? If it is who, it's very difficult to use ma for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if we think about it, ma is what built the sky, and what built the sky is a connotation that we don't know Allah by essence. We know Him by His action, by His attributes, by the way He deals with this universe. وَالسَّمَاء وَمَا بَنَاهَا وَالْأَرْض وَمَا طَحَاهَا. So the sama has all these systems and equations to build this sama. But for the earth, it comes to taha. And taha, it's only used in Quran in this surah, and the other time Allah used daha, and some of ulama telling us that daha and taha is the same. It's just to make things flat. But there's very important thing. If you go to the linguistic, they tell you Arabs used to say darun mathiya, means it has lots of rooms and it's packed with it. Keep this understanding in your mind, will come to it because it has beautiful application in our life. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَاهَا. Then he will go now, so he took us from the sun to the universe, and then now down to earth, down to nafs. What is nafs? It's very difficult to understand what nafs is. I mean, I don't have time to do question answer. I would have done that, but really, nafs, till now, even in the Western world, they have difficulty in defining what nafs. Sometimes people understand nafs as ruh, as soul, but it's not, because we don't know soul. Soul is from Allah. إنما الروح من أمر ربي. We don't know exactly what soul is, so it's not the nafs. Besides, nafs can be bad or good, and soul is not like that. Could it be the body, just this jismani thing, this material thing? It also doesn't fit, but it could be part of it. Now they call it personality. So is the personality is the nafs? Is it me as a person is a nafs? But also that doesn't fit it in all aspects, because it doesn't fit the thinking part of it. What about, is it the conscious? Is it the dhamir? It can be, but the problem with that is dhamir is always comes in a positive connotation. There is no dhamir which is bad. Dhamir is always good. Probably nafs is all of them. It's me and you as a person who have a soul, a body, and a personality, and a conscious. All of this, and that's the beauty, because Allah says, وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. It bring all these parts together to make a nafs. It gave us all these potentials to make something good from it. And if we want now he reached to the nafs, let's apply all what we understood about Shams, now from ayatul afaq, from the universe to our life, to ourself. Because Allah says, سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتُنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. So we are going to show them our signs in the universe and in their own selves. So the simile between us and, or nafs, let's say, and Shams. Shams is always have a conflict, burning itself to give, and all of us like that. We have the goodness, trying to fight the badness inside us. All of us like to live. Why are you here? I'm sure if they ask you to serve, all of you will jump for serving. You have this beauty in you, because this sun inside you trying to give. And once it reaches to that stage, it will give, it will enlight everything around it. And this is the light. Ash-shams wa duhaha. Each one of us has a duha. Your duha should always shine. If it doesn't, try to work on it to reach there. And if we don't, and once our goodness start to go out, you can see it in the faces of those who are around you, because they reflect your goodness. When you're good, they will treat you good, and this will bring a good community. And the day is the manifestation of goodness in you. Now, you and on those who saw you. So once you do good and everything around you start to treat you with good, this exchange of goodness start to reflect itself and bring the nahar. But we know that there is a night, there is a darkness will come and cover. So we need to try to avoid it. Now, all of us, we try to go to a sky. The sky for us is to reach higher. Each one of us has a sky to reach. But the interesting thing, sometimes we don't. We stuck in earth. So we go and flourish in earth, and we know that earth is good to start, but it's bad to stay in. So this how we can apply ayatul afaq on ourselves. Imam Rida has a beautiful saying that for each ard there is a sama, and he put his hands like this. So if this is an ard, this is the sama for it. And once you reach the sama, it will be an earth, and you have to go up to another sama. It's beautiful because once you put a goal and you reach it, you will find that you have another goal. And you keep on going and going. There is no stop. Don't go back, because there is no back, because it's not allowed actually to go back. You have to progress. And that's a beautiful hadith from Imam Rida. So these are the three levels. Now we finished the first two, we'll go the third level of understanding this ayah. And this is from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. This is so much applicable to Ahlul Bayt. So the simile with the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt, the sun is the Prophet. The Prophet is continuously burning himself for us to be good. He kept on trying, and actually because his effect is eternal, he is always trying to be to give us more. And this is where his duha, and this is the Islam, the idea that he shined to us with the Islam, with the beauty of the religion of God. The sun, وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا. When the darkness come, he didn't leave us alone. He left aqmar, he left moons to reflect his beauty. And the aqmar from the hadith is Imam Ali alayhi salam and the Imam. So today we are in the occasion of one of these moons, a reflection. The Prophet will never leave us, because once you are with Hussein, the reflection always there. You'll see him in his lights. Once it reaches you and you feel it, you will remove the cover and the tajalli will be in your heart. So you'll see the light, and this is when nahar idha jallaha, the light when it manifests in you and you come out. And the night when it covers, we are always in the struggle, the darkness around us, in us and around us, and we try to get rid of it. We put a sky for us, and our sky in here, especially for today and in Muharram, we want to join them. We want to join the sky of Imam, and once you reach there, you feel beauty. You want to go further and higher and higher. And this is continuous from Imam Rida Islam. Once you reach to a sky, it will be an earth for you, and it will keep on going. فَأَلْهَمَهَا. So this is the nafs. فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. Ilham is inspire them to know the goodness and badness. Why would Allah inspire us to know the goodness and badness? Because we are the only creation, probably apart from jinn, who had free will. Why free will is important? Free will is important because that's the only, Allah wants a creature to come to him by choice. And that's a beauty. No, it's a test because you may fall, but again, it's a beauty because once you are successful, you are very close to him, closer than angels. فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا. What's fujur? Fujur is when you rip through something. What is this thing? This is the system of Allah. Allah gave us a universal system. When He wants us to pray, it's part of the universal system. It's not just a discipline. If you don't pray, if you do something wrong against what Islam says, it doesn't, because people sometimes think that, oh, Islam is so restrictive. So I will, for example, for the ladies, decide to remove the hijab. Believe me, wallah, you will not gonna be happy with that. Because happiness is only by the application of what Allah wants. If a man, he decided to, under the peer pressure, to go with them for their parties, wallah, he will not feel happy, because it's against the system. So that's fujuraha. Taqwaha is not the fear, it's to be conscious that Allah is with you and watching you. Allah gave us this, and this is the pivot. Now we go to the pivot. The pivot of the whole thing is this. How do we reach to Allah? قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. So the whole ayat in the beginning, the 8 ayahs, is to tell you this. This is your only way to go up. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. The only way for us to ascend is to purify, because sins are heaviness. We have to remove them to ascend. But if we decide to keep them, we will be khaba. Khaba is when you are planning something, when you go there, you don't see it. This is khaba. So a disappointment, a failure. Why? Because when we stay in dirt, we will reach to the stage of dassaha. Dassaha is when you put something under dirt. When you decide to live in this worldly life, you are dassaha. Inshallah, none of us like that. But this is the message. If you want to ascend, remove it. If you want to stay, you will be under the dirt. The third part now, and the last part, now Allah want to give us an example so we understand what He's talking about. All of you know the story of Salih and Thamud and the Naqa, and He's using it now in different way, in a very beautiful way. So what is Allah saying? كذبت ثمود بطغواها. Thamud denied because their extreme rebellious behavior. What did they deny? Denied the Prophet, denied the message, denied that Allah told us that if you are away or do fujur or you are ripped through this system, you are in vain. They won't, but they did fujur, they ripped it apart. And they reached Tughyan. Tughyan is when it's overdoing things. You know, Taghal ma, like when there is a flooding. So they flood in their badness. When they flood in their badness, they will bring to this universe something. Badness will give inbi'ath, means birth to the most wretched person, to a tyrant. We build a tyrant. Tyrant is not something come to us. If the community decides to go bad, it will bring a wretched person, a person who kills, who destroys the badness. فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها. It's very interesting. The Prophet never give up because he's a light. He's part of the light. What's the camel symbolize? Symbolize a miracle. What's the miracle? The miracle here at that time is the naqa. But what's the miracle for us? We have the miracle, which is the Quran, and we have al-mu'jiza al-natiqa, our Ahlul Bayt. Naqat Allah. It's an advice. It's actually a request. Naqat Allah wa suqyaha. How do you feed it? How do you feed this naqat Allah? I have only 2 minutes, inshallah. So the miracle here, Allah is telling us, how are we going to treat the miracle, the Quran and Ahlul Bayt? Is treating the Quran and Ahlul Bayt through suqyaha. Keep on feeding in yourself. Keep on feeding outside. Don't allow this to dry out, because it will, you are the loser and I am the loser, and everybody will lose if we don't do that. But they didn't, so they even decided to kill the miracle. This is Karbala. They decided to kill the miracle. Aqirun Naqa, we know the hadith. The worst one is, in the old time, is the one who killed the camel, and later on is the one who killed Imam Ali alayhi salam. Who brought this in? Brought it in? The community built this in. So we need to be very careful, because this is a message for us. We should not bring up Aqir Naqa again. So فَكَذَّبُوهُ فَعَقَرُوهَا فَدَمْدَمَ عَلَيْهِمْ رَبُّهُم. Allah wiped them, because they don't deserve to stay in. They decided to rip apart the system. The effect of ripping apart the system, that the system will destroy you. That's normal, isn't it? وَلَا يَخَافُ عُقْبَهَا. Allah is not afraid of it. So this is Karbala, and Karbala is these lights reflecting to us. It is a continuous message, because if we don't purify and do tajalli of this pure fact in our heart, it will die. We need to keep on looking after the miracle, inshallah. And this gathering is one of the ways of looking after this miracle to keep it alive in ourselves and outside. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.